Double low speed, double low shit.
Going down. 3-6 Mafia. What the world been waiting on, man? It's going down. We gon' let you know how we make it come. Right.
Goose got me loose, gone up Patron. Money in my pocket and I'm all up in the zone like.
Ooh, I'ma act a damn fool. Yeah. Ooh, I'm about to act a fool. Yeah.
Goose got me loose, gone up Patron. Money in my pocket and I'm all up in the zone like.
Ooh, I'ma act a damn fool. Yeah. Yes, sir. A new road tonight. I got my money looking right, but I ain't trying to fight. But if a sucker touch me, best believe it's on. Get cracked, crush a dome with a bottle of Patron. Right here, right now, quick, fast, in a hurry. Hit the sucker so hard, I made his vision get blurry. I'm too clean for this, I'm too lean for this. Figure it would happen, so I brought my team for this.
Yes, sir, I'm the realest player, trap star, selling the biggest bricks. I'm the realest player, rap bar, smoking purplish. Step up in the club, I got love, cause I'm rich. The girl between my legs, do me up like I'm licorice. 25 stacks at the bar, ice on my wrist. Step up to this pimp and get your braided hair, wig split. Back up in my Chevy, brains blown out, peanut butter, riding high, staying high. I'm talking like a
Drunk ass motherfucker, throw your hood up. Get drunk ass motherfucker, throw your hood up. Get drunk ass motherfucker, hold your drinks up. Get drunk ass motherfucker, hold your drinks up. Lay back ass motherfucker, turn that bottle up. Lay back ass motherfucker, turn that bottle up. Throw them stacks up, man, right, what? Throw them stacks up, man, right, what? Goose got me loose, gone up Patron. Money in my pocket and I'm all up in this zone line.
Ooh, I'ma act a damn fool, yeah. Ooh, I'm about to act a fool, yeah.
Got me loose.
This car's wired for squibs. So this is basically all special effects bullet hits that they can fire off. So as the car's driving, then you see the explosions.
This is a Chucky Beat production.
Work on the differential system work, the CB axles. We obviously had to shove the motor way back to allow room for all that. But relatively low ride height. So basically the cars were set up where they had all basically grouped, which I think we ended up with 20 plus inches in the rear and about 16 inches in the front. But 80% of that travel was down travel, just a few inches of up travel, because obviously we're limited by fender placement. But and it worked great, and unfortunately it worked so good that they only did it once. I was hoping, we built two cars and both cars could have done it all day long, but we got to that scene, the jump was about yay high, and nailed it the first time, and like you're waiting, well, let's just do it like 5 more times just because we put all the effort in the cars, But anyways, they did what they were made to do. Theory, and I just saw the movie, and it goes by so quick that you might miss it, but I'll do the quick explanation of it. So basically, you have the vacuum line that feeds the wastegate. So what Dom does initially is he's looking for an Allen wrench. He wants to adjust the boost in the car. He can't come up with that. He just takes the top of his Coke can, pulls the vacuum line, he basically pinches the line, restricting the vacuum of the wastegate, increasing the boost maybe 5-10 pounds. So gets him in the ballpark. He does, just for that, just in case, he runs a piece of baling wire from the vacuum line inside the car. So if all else fails, you can yank that piece of baling wire and basically put the car into full boost, which with the size of the turbocharger would be around 30 pounds. So it's not going to last long at 30 pounds of boost, but it's going to make a whole bunch of power for a very short time. As Letty states in the movie, you're basically creating a time bomb. But Don says, yeah, well, it only has to last, from here to there. So of course, in the end, it all works out. Another interesting feature of this car was in the dialogue, and like I said, I just saw the movie the first time, and everyone was, laughing and applauding. So I can't swear that it was in there, but the transmission is basically out of a tractor. You've ever seen like an old backhoe transmission, which basically in Cuba is what they do. They'll take a transmission out of a tractor, they'll take a, an alternator off of the generator, they'll do whatever they can do to get something back together. So basically the car is equipped with 4 forward gears and 4 reverse gears. So one lever is to shift gears and the other lever is from forward mode to reverse mode. So
it's realistic that he goes that far.
it's realistic because it's always my job to try to explain these things. Hey, how does he go 100 miles an hour backwards? So I try to really stress the importance of that because otherwise you're watching the movie and you're going, hey, wait a minute. So there is some logic behind it, and that was it. And
that answers how they can go 100 miles an hour into it.
right. So if you see it, it's quick, and like I said, the cut one bites it. But I have to watch the movie, and I'm hoping that it all got in. The computer read it. He spins the car around. He's already in third gear. He grabs. There's actually 10 of these, so this is one of 10. Because the car really went through. Granted, when you see the film, it's a pretty quick scene, but you have to realize we were there for a couple of weeks filming nothing but this car races in the streets. And there's a car that's for fire. There's actually 2 cars for fire. There's a car that's for smoke. There's a car. Each car really has a different purpose. Pretty much all the cars had good power, good performance. Once again, it looks old and aged, but if you really look closely, it's once again we built a complete aftermarket chassis for the vehicle. Coilover suspension, has more of a modern steering box. I almost went with a rack, but I thought the rack would be kind of too obvious. 4 dynos rear differential. The motor is actually a Chevy 400 horse 350 crate motor, and we've done everything we can to kind of give it that 60s era look. So we basically converted the valve covers with adapters and converted from the center bolt to the perimeter bolt. So you get the right vintage valve cover look. We painted the aluminum heads and the aluminum intake orange by the producer of the franchise, Neil Moritz, to this personal cars. This one's basically, if you pop the hood, it looks like a 427 car, but it's actually a 509 cubic inch, probably 540 horsepower, but it looks all 100% authentic.
Question that. Boy, with the enemy real, fuck it all, kill it all.
This is a GNX that Dom drove in the 4th installment of the franchise. If you remember us when they did the fuel heist. It was really one of my, it was just a great build. I had a lot of fun with that. It gave me the opportunity to build a couple of vehicles like that were my childhood dreams, like the 3-axle, 80 Chevy truck. We had the 67 truck with a gigantic, big rig axle, and the 22.5, super singles in the back. So, it's almost like just going back to being 12 years old and, playing with toy cars, so except they're real. And, a lot of effort went into that too. And like I said, there's a lot of effort that I put into these cars that frequently you don't see. There was one particular thing that we did with the 3-axle trucks. I built one of them that actually had power supplied to all 4 rear tires, which was one of the coolest things ever. We did a Little Springs testing, just doing a whole series of, drifting that thing and sliding in donuts. And it looked so cool. And I was just like, man, I was just talking to the director and said, Justin, please, you gotta get this thing like coming from a standstill, just coming out of the the side of the shoulder, just completely sideways spinning all 4 tires. And we did it, but once again, these movies always have to be condensed into a certain time frame, and unfortunately, a lot of times the things that don't make it are car things because like I said, a lot of times people think that the dialogue and the actors might be more important. So there might be some truth to that. This car, once again, we just talked about. This is the Yenko that was driven in Too Fast, Too Furious. Ends up driven by Paul. This is a car that we basically see him, launch from land and land on the boat, which was a pretty spectacular sequence. And once again, the thing about Fast and Furious movies is usually when you see this stuff, it seems unbelievable, but it's actually really happened. So there actually was a car that was launched. It was completely filled with foam, so in case it went in the water, it would be buoyant and not sink to the bottom. So there's so much that goes into those action sequences that people don't ever realize.
Was it launched or was it under power
It was under power. They actually, it was a cool scene. I wasn't there for that because I didn't do that movie, but once again, it's spectacular to say the least. In my mind, it's like the UK version of a 70 Challenger or a 69 Camaro. I didn't even realize how popular these cars were until we did that film and actually went to London with it. And you would roll up with a car carrier with a Dodge Daytona and a 69 Mustang and thinking, man, people are gonna freak out. But everybody was always gravitating towards this vehicle. Sad day. At one point, we did actually wreck one, somewhat unintentionally. But those things happen. And so we always push the envelope. And when you're going for big air, sometimes it doesn't land just as you anticipate. But other than the one, they all survive. So it's always kind of a challenge with Dom because it's like you can never go backwards. You know, it's like you keep getting bigger, and you know he's definitely a Mopar guy at heart. So you need to change it up a little bit. So the rotor was a cool color. I had a lot of resistance on the color, but you know it's like you can only have so many black cars in one move. It's always on my list. Hey, let's build a real Hemi Charger. You know, we always wanted to build the black, you know, original Charger with a Hemi, and we've gotten close. We've actually had it in there, and I mean, literally, we're so close. One time we're about to run the car, and then hey, we need another car for a gag. It's gonna get wrecked. Like, oh God, all right, pull the good stuff out. Above that is the 1970 Chevelle, the car that Vin drives and we gave. This is actually a factory original 454 4-speed. This was our hero car. It really never received any abuse. It was driven in the scene where you know, Don drops, comes back by the house just down the street around the corner, and you know, it's one of those cars we basically purchased it and did nothing. And like I said, this car's now owned by Neil Moritz. He comes in occasion, takes it out for a spin. When I say hero car, that's going to be the car that you know, actually looks good from 3 feet away. You know, stunt cars, you know, by the time we're done, you know, they look good from maybe 20 feet away. You got to stand back a little bit. They look great on camera, but you know, there's a lot of abuse. You know, and they're built. You know, they'll have things in the nature of a fuel cell. You know, probably a Detroit locker in the car, a big slide brake handle, or a slide brake foot pedal. You know, all those type of modifications for doing stunts. It's actually an air conditioning car. It had all the, you know, comforts you need. So.
Do I usually get air conditioning?
No, only Vin does.
Oh, damn.
He's the only one, yeah. So this was the Shaw Fast Attack vehicle in 7. Another one of my favorite sequences in the film. It was shot primarily up in Colorado, Pikes Peak. You know, the road, the terrain was perfect. We had all the off-road area we needed. You know, once again, if you watch that scene, it's pretty impressive what these cars are doing. I mean, they're going down some stuff that's incredibly steep. A lot of effort went into the suspension of the vehicles. This car actually shares the exact same chassis that Dom's off-road Charger had. So basically the A-arms, you know, the howl rack, the sway-away shocks could all be flip-flop, moving around as needed. Just a matter of, I think this one's like 7 or 8 weeks. So a lot of pressure on the build. Luckily I got a bunch of great guys that know what they're doing, and you know, when we're in full force, you know, here at the shop, there'll be usually 60 people, 70 people, which gets pretty congested, as you can imagine. So I had basically, I think 12 guys, and we're here just primarily to build ice chargers. And and I think that is about all.
What about the Supra? Is there any special?
So Supra from Fast and Furious, yeah. So this is the car. This is the Fast and Furious favorite. These are cars that really kind of started the franchise. You know, when you look at the Supras, the RX-7, it was kind of where it all started. So this car is a great one. This is a car that I think it was maybe 5-6 years ago we actually did fully restore this vehicle. This is actually one of the hero cars that originally came from the first one, and it was basically recycled for the second. But if you look under the hood, you can see it was the real deal. At the moment, it had a little rat infestation problem where it ate through the harness, so we have to get back under there and replace the, you know, large portion of the wiring harness and get it going again. This car is a true runner, driver. You know, rumor has it this car was making 500-600 horsepower. So, sure. Like as much as I want to bring the RX-7 back, if I said, "Hey Ben, I got your RX-7 ready for 8," it would just look really funny. You know, it just
they're going from nuclear submarines to
it's just going back to the RX-7 with the miniature nitrous bottles. Just doesn't fit them. It's great. Is what goes on behind the scenes is actually transferred to the big screen. So there's nothing more fun than doing this.
whole piston side of the car.
I cannot take credit for the whole car. No. So that one I had nothing to do with that whatsoever. So that was Twinkie's van. And I guess the theory behind that was, you know, Twinkie is kind of this small guy that looks fairly harmless, but when you piss him off, you better look out because he'll go crazy. And that's how the big fist came from the inside out. But I had no idea whose idea that was. So the Universal Transformers ride at the theme park to be parked out in front. The next vehicle down, I'm told is from The Mummy, but I can't say I ever actually saw the movie and can swear to that. This is a car that was used for a visual effects gag in Fast 8. It actually was a running, driving ice charger, and it was painted all black. Past the Mummy car, there actually is an actual Back to the Future DeLorean that's unrestored. If if you've ever been on the Universal tour, you'd have to go back a few years, but there was a decrepit Back to the Future DeLorean just kind of sitting up by the tram garage next to a parking structure that you would drive by all the time, and like everyone would think, oh my God, that's so sad. So I finally came here with the basic intent to get restored. We just haven't got that project green-lit, but it's standing by, ready to go. A little bit further down, there's the 32 Ford that was from American Graffiti, which is normally parked outside of the Mel's Diner up at the theme park. But once again, right now we've swapped some stuff out. We got some Fast 8 cars, or cars from Fate and the Furious there. So like I said, it's kind of a ever-changing environment up there. Like I said, once again, just to kind of keep it interesting and change it out.
Double low speed, double low share.